For 99% of athletes, a physical examination or medical is just routine. Now, they're really just there to test your general health and make sure you're fit to play, but on very rare occasions, they might just find something nobody expected, and we're going to take a look at some of those cases. In 2006, right around the time he entered TCU, now Patriots right tackle Marcus Cannon was diagnosed with a benign mass in his midsection. But as it was benign, Cannon went on to play with it, becoming a 4-year starter at TCU, earning him an invite to the scouting combine rated by some as the number 7 tackle in the draft. However, physicals for the draft revealed that the mass had grown, and a couple of NFL teams requested that he have a biopsy. Now, in 2006, Cannon had a needle biopsy, but this time he opted to have a surgical one, which is much more accurate, and this time it was revealed that he had non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Now, because of his age and health, Cannon was given a success rate for beating the cancer of more than 90%, and even with the diagnosis, the Patriots selected him with the 138th pick overall in the 5th round. Now, Cannon won his fight with cancer and was even able to play later in the 2011 season, and has since become a 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Patriots, as well as one of the very best right tackles in the NFL, making second-team All-Pro last season. Now, if those NFL teams hadn't requested that Cannon has another biopsy, or maybe if Cannon hadn't opted for a surgical biopsy this time around, who knows what the story might have been, but luckily those things did happen and Marcus Cannon has been in remission for 6 years. We'll not only stick to the offensive line and offensive tackle position, we're also sticking with the Patriots organization for this next one. In 2014, left tackle Nate Solder was entering his 4th year with the Patriots after starting all but 4 games in his first 3 years, following his selection as the 17th overall pick in the 2011 draft. Now, Solder, like all of his teammates, was having his routine physical prior to the season when he mentioned to doctors that he felt something around his testicle. Now, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer and underwent surgery 3 days later. What's most amazing about Solder's story isn't just that he beat cancer in 2014, he started all 16 regular season games that same year, including 3 more starts in the playoffs that not only saw him score this incredible receiving touchdown, but also resulted in a Super Bowl win. Now, Solder got lucky. Early detection saves lives, and he happened to have a job that requires routine physicals. Testicular cancer mainly affects men between the ages of 20 to 34, and it is important to get checked. Now, you may or may not know that Nate Solder's son was also diagnosed with cancer when he was 3 months old, and I wanted to take the opportunity just to direct your attention to 2 organizations that I've linked in the description that Solder and his family have supported in the past. Now, I just thought if after hearing these stories you wanted to help or donate, I could at least guide you in the direction of some great organizations, especially those working to fight pediatric cancer. The final story is a very recent one, and it begins with something I couldn't even believe at the time. In late August, legendary long snapper magician hybrid John Dorenbos was traded by the Eagles to the Saints in exchange for a 7th round draft pick. Now, Dorenbos is 6th in appearances all time in Eagles history, but a trade that surprised many, and let's face it, primarily because who expects a 37-year-old long snapper to fetch trade value, ended up very likely saving his life. Now, the Saints doctor performing Dorenbos' physical found a problem with his heart, sent him to get it checked out further, and the problem turned out to be extremely serious, and his NFL career ended there, and he required open heart surgery for his aortic aneurysm, a surgery which he successfully underwent in September. As Dorenbos himself said in an interview on The Ellen Show, he was told that if he had received a hit in the chest with this problem, there was a greater chance of him dying on the field than there was of him walking away from it. Now, apparently, had he not been traded, it was very likely that he would have never undergone a physical before the season, and if what his doctors said is true, then there was a very high chance of him dying on the field at some point this season. Being traded to the Saints and his subsequent physical examination truly saved his life. So there we have 3 cases of times that an NFL physical examination was a little more than just pre-draft, pre-season, or pre-trade paperwork, but instead served an extremely important purpose in the life of the men undergoing the examination. Now, as a final word, I just again want to mention the charities linked below, and I hope you found these stories as inspiring and fascinating as I found them myself.